Good morning, everyone, or afternoon or evening, or maybe the middle of the night, right? Welcome to the October Member Make. And here we are, Megan.
Yeah.
So good to see you. We don't get to see each other as much as we used to because we're all kind of working from home. But we are so excited. I'm really excited to learn how you made this beautiful pear branch. Yeah, this is going to be something that, in our studio and in my house both, we're going to store this and use it year after year because it's so beautiful and it's versatile. And I don't know if you all noticed in some of the photographs that we did for the month of October, we actually use these like laying on the table as part of the tablescapes. You can set them in a vase like this. There's so many ways to use them.
Yep, you can use it for lots of different.
Yeah, I love the idea. Yeah, decor.
Put them in just the pears
in a bowl.
Yeah,
they're just so versatile. I love that they're not purchased; they're handmade. So there's something really special about that. So, a couple things. We are going to do a giveaway today.
Yeah.
So. We are giving away, I'll show you at the end what exactly we're giving away, but we haven't decided on a question yet, so I have to think quick on my feet.
Oh, we always do this.
Yes. So we are giving away next month's materials for the Member Make, and we also have a little free gift to throw in there, so you're going to definitely want to put your little answer, which will be, let's see here. What is your favorite craft you are making for Christmas this year? So go ahead and put that as a big capital A and then write your answer and we'll put you in the drawing.
Capital Q.
Or Q. Q-A. You can do both. Yeah, Q-A. I don't know the Q. Yeah, never mind. So whatever, Q or A, go ahead and do that. Q, I think, is for question. Like if they want to ask us a question.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll be looking for your questions as well. So if you have any questions to ask myself or Megan, who's going to be teaching this class, go ahead and put that as a Q and ask your question. Anna's going to text me so I can read it out to you guys. And we can answer those questions for you. So let's see, what else do we have to talk about? So yes, go ahead and do A and then your answer for what your favorite craft is that you're making for Christmas. And we'll go from there.
There you go.
Okay, what are the materials we're starting with?
Let's get started. So we have, for our materials, you're going to need our double-sided and ferns and moss. And then our, let's see what color is this, fern and extra fine. Here's our crepe paper. And then I used two different colored markers for our pears. I used terracotta and wine. The two colors. You're going to need a couple paints. We use yellow orange deep and yellow light and just matte acrylic paint. And then we have our pan pastel, which we used burnt sienna. And then we have our natural bind wire, which is our new favorite.
Yes, and it's in the shop.
Yep,
so
we have it in
sure
our shop now.
Yes, and that thing will last you and last you and last you.
So long. You get so much use out of it.
Yes, we have 3 colors, and I have to say, I've been using every single color, and I've been using it almost like at least once a week, if not twice a week.
Oh yeah, I used it for a lot of our projects for November.
So you guys might want to grab some. Yes.
And then we have a couple different options for our pokey tools. I have a Cricut weeding tool, or I have these are called ceramic straight needles, or we have our, what are these?
Needle nose pliers.
No, these aren't needle nose pliers.
No.
Needle nose tweezers.
Tweezers, there we go. Not
there
pliers.
we go. These
Tweezers.
are like super pokey.
They are pokey.
Also.
And we have those in the shop too, and they are one of my favorites now.
Yeah.
So.
And then we have our scissors and our
hot glue gun.
Mod Podge. We have a lot of materials today
we do.
for this project. We also have these pears. I've already painted this one, but they come in a craft color. These are nice because they're paper mache instead of foam.
We like that a lot.
We got our tacky glue and our Mod Podge.
All right. I like this because it's almost like an art project.
It is.
It is. Okay, it's not almost
They all
like
are.
it is an art. Well, that's true. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna move this over here.
Right in between us.
It's so beautiful, but here, I'll see if we can let it show on the camera a little bit. Okay.
All right, and we'll talk about our pattern that we have here. So the pattern is just for the leaves. We have them situated exactly how you want to cut them on your Cricut. The grain lines are shown on each leaf, so just make sure you pay attention to those.
Yes.
Yeah. And anything else we need to say before we get started?
I think we're good. Yeah, we have lots of things to say throughout, but we'll just...
All right, so we're going to start with the pear, actually, because when you're doing this project, you're going to want to start with your pear because you're going to have to paint it, you're going to have to wait for it to dry. I painted 2 coats on this pear, and for the color, I took these 2 colors and I just mixed them equally, a 1-to-1 ratio of the colors to get this nice pear color. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some pears are more green. It depends what color you want it.
And some are a little more of that beautiful amber color, more orangey, red, purple, plummy. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we're going to paint this and
I like that color.
Dress it up a little bit.
Okay. We only have one, so...
Yeah, we only had one left after making the project. I didn't order enough. And then you guys bought them and they sold out.
Right.
So I couldn't buy any more.
I hope that they're in stock again.
We found else for people to buy them.
Okay,
also.
good. We do our best to make sure you guys can get your supplies. Okay.
So after you've painted your pear and the paint is dried, you're gonna go ahead and take your pan pastel, and we're gonna take an art sponge, and I just use this color to just lightly shade in a few spots, and I just applied it. Where is mine? There we go. The overhead.
Here we go.
I just put it in a couple spots, and I use the clean side of the sponge to just blend it in.
It's kind of like putting on makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the different ways to use pan pastels.
Yeah, you can use them on so many different materials, I feel like, and it's great. And this is just giving your pear a little bit more depth, making it look more real.
They do look real. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not that hungry.
And there was no, I don't know, correct way or place to apply
just
the pan pastel. Just, if you want to, go ahead and look up a inspiration photo of a pear. That's what I did when I was making these.
Okay, while she is doing that, I have a couple of other announcements I need to make. Let me know if I'm interrupting you. All right, so we actually have to push our Kids Craft Camp a week. There's a lot going on this month and a few things happen. So we will not be having Kids Craft Camp next week. It will instead be October 30 for all the kids in your life to come and share a little crafting time with me. I love it. It's so much fun to craft with the kids. So mark that on your calendar. It's 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, October 30. So that's one of the announcements. And then the other one, which I'm going to say twice because I'll talk about it again at the end. We have our new single crepe paper is now in stock in the shop. So it finally got here. It's already, we've had a lot of orders for those. So make sure and go check those out. We have 20 new colors in the shop. One of the things that they asked me to talk about was we actually changed it up a bit. Our original single crepe paper packs have a craft label, and our new ones are gray, and we did that on purpose because we actually increased the quantity of the crepe paper in the extra fine and the heavy. So you get more crepe paper in the gray. So what we're doing when we're selling it for the gray price, but if you get a brown pack, you'll get either 2 or 4. So you'll get 2 heavy for the same price as 1 gray. In craft, in the craft, you'll get 2 heavy for the price of 1 gray, or you'll get 4 extra fine for the price of 1 gray in the craft. So just so you know, we tried to make it super clear. You'll get the same quantity no matter if you get the craft or the gray, but you'll get more packages. And once we run out of the craft, then we'll just continue with the gray, and because we wanted to get you more paper per pack, it just seemed more sensible, right?
Yes.
And we wouldn't have to run out so quickly.
Yep.
So I'll repeat that at the end, but please send questions if that did not make sense to you. So yeah, there we go. I'm watching to see if Anna sends me any questions here.
Perfect.
Next.
All right, so once you have applied your pan pastel, we're gonna go ahead and take our markers. I'm gonna start with the wine, and these markers have a brush side and a flat side.
Right, which we rarely use.
Yeah, I always use the brush side.
Yeah.
We're gonna use the brush side today because I'm gonna go ahead and just apply little dots. And I really only applied the dots where I applied pan pastel. And so I'm just gonna do lots of little tiny dots.
And very lightly.
Yep. Some of them really small, some of them bigger. All right.
It's quiet.
Yep.
Send me your questions. She's pretty good at this. Do you guys notice that we have a different background going on here? Should I do that? I think I should.
Yeah.
Okay. I just
Why
thought I'd
not?
have a little
Something to talk about.
yeah, I thought I'd have a little fun today, and I have an extra little bonus giveaway to the person who can tell us how many different video studios we have filmed in for our member makes.
Yeah.
Well, let's not do that. How many video studios, period, we filmed in? We just moved again, and hopefully this will be here for a long time
Yes.
because I actually bought this place.
Yep.
So
We will be here for a very long time.
we'll be here for a very long time. But it's a beautiful space. We'll show you. We'll do a spin around another time. I forgot to do a spin around
little Instagram.
on an Instagram. But next month, I promise I'll do an Instagram spin around to show you the studio. It's really very beautiful here, and it's kind of our. Let's see, Anna's sending me a question. Nope. Yeah. So tell us how many studios. I was counting this morning. I'm like, oh wait, that was giving you a hint. So yesterday Anna was over here and we were just putting stuff up just to get it full. So you'll watch it kind of change and shift over the months.
Yeah.
Okay.
The seasons. All right. So after you've applied your dots in the darker purple color, I'm gonna take terracotta, which is kind of an orange. And I liked this because it was similar to the color of the pear already.
Yeah.
So it was just a nice.
I like
light.
having the two tones in there as well.
Like pears get a little spotty the older they get. Maybe when they're close to being picked. Not sure.
Okay, whoever MI is, Anna, is correct. So she wins.
She wins. What are you sending her?
Oh, I was going to send an extra Christmas pack of crepe paper. So make sure you give Anna your address and we'll ship that to you. So whoever, capital M, capital I, said 7, and that is correct. This is our 7th studio. Lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7. There we go.
Why not? But some of you, yep. Someone else said 6. Someone said 5. Do we ship to the UK? Carol is asking. And yes, we do. We do have international shipping, and the UK is definitely on that list. So... Yep, somebody said Jennifer guessed lucky number 7. So you're right. Okay.
All right, so I have applied dots to the pear. So that's all ready to go. And so we're going to go ahead and set this aside and we're going to start working on our leaves now.
Okay. And is this Mod Podged ever?
Nope.
Nope. This is
I
it.
didn't Mod
Okay.
Podge it, it's done.
And it really doesn't need it.
No, it doesn't. The pan pastel, once you rub it in and really work it in, it doesn't come off.
Yeah.
I don't even have any on my hands right now.
I really
just
like
applied
that
it.
it's not glossy. It looks more natural. Okay. On to the leaves.
Yeah.
Now I get to help. Yay.
All right. And so we have 3 different leaf sizes here. Just to make it look as natural as possible, mixing up the sizes. And what we're going to start with is we're actually going to start with our stems.
Okay.
So I'm going to find the end of this.
The one trick I have to say when you're working with this, it spins out really fast. So what often I'll do is cut it
Okay.
Is this, what do you do?
That's fine. So I just let it spin out and I have like a crazy.
Oh, okay. So I usually, because it will like keep spinning.
It will keep
So
going.
I usually cut it and then take the end and stick it back through, and that way I save myself a mess of.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I kind of like it tidy.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm working.
So there you go. Boom.
All right. So once we have a bit of this, I'm gonna cut a few lengths for the leaf stems. And when you're cutting these, I would always, a little bit longer is better. We can always trim them down. So I'm going to go with like 6 inch. How big is our longest? 6 inches.
Yep. Okay.
Cut them at about 6 inches. Just going to cut. And at home, I actually, instead of using wire cutters with these, I have a pair of old scissors.
Oh, yeah.
That I used to cut this with.
They're pretty soft.
Because, it's really soft. It's really thin gauge wire. This is probably like a 28 gauge.
It's really lightweight. One of the reasons why I love this wire so much is because it's almost, even if you bend it out and it moves, you can move it back into place so easy.
Yeah, I can just grab this and like run my finger on it and it's straight.
It almost seems like the projects that I use them on, for me, it's they can't be crushed so much because they're easier to put back into place.
Yeah, instead of using the heavier,
the softer.
We used to. I remember years ago we used 18 gauge for like everything, and it was hard to work with.
It was a little hard. We still like our 18 gauge.
We do.
And
we use it for
love
stems
our thick stem wire. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just having, something for everything is really
So I'm actually going over these.
Okay.
I'm like twisting them to make them a little tidier and thinner just
before
I go and glue them.
I've never done this one before,
down.
Megan. Thanks for the tip.
I find that it helps. And I'm just straightening them all out so they're easy to work with. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take our stem, I called these stem wraps because I didn't really know what to call them.
That's a great name for them, yeah.
And we're going to go ahead and take our glue, and we're actually going to wrap this around. So I did this a different way than we normally do because I didn't want any seams or them coming apart.
I think I know what you did.
And I'm going to apply some glue.
Because the grain's going the long way, you did it differently, yes.
And so I'm going to go ahead and glue one of these guys on and wrap it around.
Okay, I see what you're doing now.
Just to cover, to make the stem a different color. And then once you've wrapped it around, you can kind of roll it just between your hands to really make it, put it in there.
This makes a nice transition from the leaf to the branch.
Yep. So we're not just gluing the leaves onto the branch. Because when I was looking at pear trees, I was like, all the leaves have a bit of a stem to them. Speaking of stems, we didn't even talk about the branch. So when you're doing this, so I used a real branch from a tree. And I would recommend using like a fresh cut one because it's going to be a little bit easier. So I just trimmed a little branch off of a tree this morning.
You want fresh because the green, we have to cut a little hole in it.
We're going to kind of push into it. And so the green will have more give than a dried branch would.
That all makes sense. I'll double check my...
Your questions.
No questions, guys? I see no questions yet. Certainly there has to be some question.
So we're also going to make an extra little stem for our pear also, so that our pear stem, because the stems that come on these pears are very short. They don't have wire in them, so we're actually going to cut that off and
make a new
attach one of these stems. So I'm going to make an extra one for our pear. Is our glue gun on? Yep.
Yeah, it's on. So it looks like Anna just sent me the note that, let's see here, my phone just keeps turning off. Jim Kim Creative said video studio. Oh wait, not her. Sorry. Rebecca Baker. Oh no, she said 8. Okay. So,
Still
sorry.
sending.
They're still sending. Yes. Almost 8. No, we're at 7. Although if we were to consider the dining room in that one place, because we did film there one time, right, Matthew?
Yep.
Yeah. So that would be 8. So, but that was kind of an offshoot video. You guys pay a lot of attention. What do you think of our new studio?
Close.
Yeah, what do you think of the new one? You probably can't pull back, Matthew, can you, to show them what we have going on? Oh, he's going to pull back. Okay.
Oh, not
Yeah.
in. Out.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
So those are our lights. You can't see everything. We have this great little metal rack over the top of us that holds the lights. We have the the microphone. I was going to call it speaker, microphone, our overhead camera. Hello. Yeah. So it's quite the setup.
Yeah.
We have our
Nice.
resident dog and resident kitten sitting here.
All right, so once you've covered your stems, we're gonna go ahead and glue our leaves onto them. And so let's go ahead and do our big leaf first, because these are all about the correct length. The one thing about this wire is you can't do the stick it into the glue trick.
I know, which is my favorite, but that's okay.
So we're gonna go ahead.
It's good to get handy with just using it this direction.
And obviously we want our green stem that we just added at the bottom of our leaf. And then for this, you're going to want to apply a little bit of glue on top of the wire before you go ahead and attach the second half of the leaf.
I'm still working on these. Okay. Since we're being so honest today, I might as well say I'm really tired. I just spent the last 3.5 weeks packing and moving, and I now live in a fixer-upper, which I love. I'm super happy about that. So luckily, I think the last 2 nights I actually got a good 8 hours sleep. Although
That's good.
Yeah, in the middle of the night I was up shopping online. So, all right, I need one more too. No, because I don't have a pair.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, so I'm good.
All right, so for our smaller leaves, you're gonna have to cut down your wire a bit probably. So go ahead and measure it. Where'd my cutters go? And just trim off as much as you need to off the tip of your wire.
Right.
If it's a little too long.
I can't always tell what you're doing, but
Oh,
it
yeah,
always
'cause
makes
I'm-
sense at the end.
You're like, what is?
Okay, those are ready.
Perfect. And then I've actually pre-made a bunch of leaves because once we're done making these, you're gonna want to Mod Podge them, and we're not gonna sit and watch Mod Podge dry with you.
Unless you had a lot of questions,
mean-
but nobody has questions today, apparently. Anna, can you make up a few questions and just send them to me? I'm kidding. This is
Right. And sometimes when you add your leaves, the tips don't line up perfectly, and so you're gonna want to take your scissors and just kind of create a new tip of your leaf.
So are any of you here in Portland, Oregon? Is anyone watching today from Portland, Oregon? You can write that in the comments if you are. Last Saturday, Lindsay hosted a little open house and sale over at our new pop-up shop here in Portland. And I wasn't able to be there because I was moving, or packing actually. And I would love to hear what you thought if you were able to make that. So you can write that in the comments if you were one of those. We had a pretty good turnout.
Yeah, it sounded like it.
Yeah, we had to, do the appointment only version since we were trying to be really careful and thoughtful. The nice thing about Mod Podging these leaves too is you don't have to worry about getting a little glue.
Getting your glue on them. Yeah,
you just want to
Mod Podge will
yeah.
cover it up.
You just want to make sure that your stem is completely between sandwiched.
Yes. Yep. All right. And so I'm going to show you guys how to do the pear right now also. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my plier wire cutters and let's see. Sometimes it'll just, I found with a couple of the pears it'll just pull out. But you want to be really careful because you don't want to rip the paper from the pear, which is what this one's doing right now. You can also just like clip it off if you want to. But yep, it comes right out. So I'm going to go ahead and take this guy and I'm going to trim the end a little bit shorter. I'm going to apply some hot glue just in the hole where the stem used to be and around it. Just go ahead and stick my new stem in. And you might have to apply, the hole is like a little big, so you might have to put a little bit of glue around your new stem just to hold it in place so it doesn't fall out.
Okay, I have a few questions.
Yeah.
This is a good time. All right, so Shirley asks, she says, I'm working on crepe paper trees. Is there a frosted white crepe paper or is there a paint that I can use? So crepe paper does not come with a frost on it. However, you probably could use...
You can use the shimmer.
The shimmer,
what is it? The tinted shimmer or the Just for Flowers shimmer spray?
Right.
By
so
Design Master.
Design Master has a shimmer that we've used before and we really love that. So try that one. And then Leanne is asking, couldn't get paper mache pears in Canada. Can I use spun cotton pears instead? Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
I think that
whatever you can find.
The cotton spun pears I love. They are smaller, if I remember right. So that's why we didn't use them. But that would be so beautiful to have a little baby pear. In fact, that would...
Yeah, you could do smaller ones.
Yeah. So that's a really great idea. And June says, I can't wait for my road trip to Portland. So make sure and let us know when you're here and we'll be there for you. Okay.
All right, so after you've completed your leaves, you're gonna apply Mod Podge to them. And I Mod Podged both sides of these, so you're gonna just use a paintbrush, apply it to one side of all of your leaves, allow it to dry, and then flip them over and do the other side.
So a couple tips on that I'm going to throw out. You have better ones because you've done this more than I. But I'm probably the one that has made more mistakes. So when you Mod Podge your leaf on one side, it will get really wrinkly.
Yeah.
And don't let that, worry you.
Just let it sit.
Just let
Leave
it sit
alone.
because it will shrink back up again. And also make sure don't lay it on a paper.
Yeah, no, don't do it on paper. I like using the silicone hot glue mats.
Silicone mat, some sort of a plastic mat.
Yeah.
You could even use a baking tray or something like that.
Yeah, you could probably use wax paper.
Wax paper.
Yeah. Just not paper because it'll stick to
tear.
it and tear. All right, so after you've Mod Podged all your leaves, let me bring in my magically Mod Podged
and here they
pile over here.
And I do like how they did get a bit of texture. Some of them are a little bit wrinkly.
There we go.
Which is great. In fact, I remember the first time I Mod Podged leaves, and I was so sad when the wrinkles went away.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, I wanted that.
Gonna stay.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
So Alice says, yep, I live in Gresham, east of Portland. I loved shopping last Saturday. Your shop is awesome. We think so too. It's really cute. We can't wait. I mean, we've only been open that one day, so we can't wait till we can have more open houses and maybe even some classes.
Yeah.
Bama asks, are the pears edible? You could eat them, I suppose, but they may not taste very good. They're lots of fiber. I have a couple more, but I'll get to those later. Oh, okay.
So we are going to go ahead and shape our leaves now.
Okay.
So once they're Mod Podged, it's really nice because they'll hold their shape really well when you shape them. And so I just like to kind of cup each side of the leaf. Is that what do you want to call it?
Yeah.
Stretch and cup each side so that each side on either side of the wire it raises up a little bit.
That's
Just like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it with each leaf. And if your leaves have been dry, if the Mod Podge has been dry for a little while, you'll probably find that it is a little harder to shape them. But if you as you warm it up with like your fingers, it'll get easier.
Okay. Good tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, Megan kind of
like softens up.
Yeah, I don't know that anyone else was doing Mod Podge. I think you were the one that started it. I mean, now other people do, but I'm pretty sure you started this.
That was a while ago.
And you have perfected it. I mean, we have so many beautiful plants where she Mod Podged the leaves.
So such a good thing to use for crepe paper plants and just your leaves.
Yeah, it is.
In general.
And also to get that really beautiful, a little bit shinier look.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. We have a couple more comments, questions. Yeah. Let's see here. Maureen from Lake Oswego said, I was sad I couldn't stop by. I had oral surgery and had to hunker down at home. And so hopefully next time we're open, we can see you, Maureen. And Jen Kim Creative said, add a partridge to the pear tree for Christmas. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
I think that would be really beautiful. I think when we decided to do the pear branch, it was sort of a fall / Christmassy
Yeah, I was
feel.
like, this could totally last into Christmas, into the new year.
Yes. And Jen also asked, will you add wool roving to the shop for felting? And yes, we've actually been looking at that. We had a few different places that we were looking to source the wool. We're actually looking at New Zealand as one of our options. So that should be coming in really soon. Maybe I would say probably 2021. And then Leanne asked, can you stretch the leaves before you Mod Podge them to get a different effect?
No.
Okay.
I think if you did that, the crepe paper would just shrink back up to its original state.
Okay.
It kind of has like a memory. When you put Mod Podge on it, it like loses whatever shape you gave it, and then will probably shrink back to something similar to how it
you can certainly
was.
try. I don't think it would hurt to try, but as far as we figured, probably not.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so once you have all your leaves shaped, you're going to take your branch, and we just have a little one straight one right now, so that we can just add it on to that. But for our original pear branch, I cut one that had two coming out.
Okay,
thank you. All right, so when you start this, make sure you have your hot glue gun ready to go. Move a couple of things out of the way here.
Hands out.
We've got a lot going on.
Can you use one of those, right?
All right, so we have all of our different tools here. Whatever you have will work great. I liked using the weeding tool just because it was like a curved, so I had something to push my finger on. And we're actually gonna take your branch and we're gonna push a hole into the branch, kind of not directly straight into it, kind of at a diagonal, like 45-degree angle in.
Similar to how a branch would grow out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm gonna go ahead and just poke a few holes to get us started. I actually, in this branch, I poked a couple holes just where I think maybe buds were going to come out or something. It made it a little easier.
Jan is asking, do you apply Mod Podge to the stem area of the leaves?
I did not.
Okay, you can.
No, but you can.
You can, yeah. It would probably make it a little stronger. I think applying the glue is almost as if you had Mod Podge on it, but either way, Okay. Let's see. Christine asked in the Mirror Make Facebook group, she said, any recommendations on where to source the actual branch?
Your yard?
Yeah.
A park. A tree.
A tree, yeah. I try to be a little conscious of when I go and cut trees and really
probably make sure it's in your own yard.
Yeah, maybe. And also look at what would naturally need to be trimmed.
Yeah.
And not just hack on a tree.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think
But these are very small branches. It's not,
they are.
yeah.
And you don't have to have a pear branch. You can,
yeah,
you
no,
can use any
I don't.
branch.
I'm not even sure what type of tree this is from.
It could be even a bush.
Yeah, a bush.
You can also, I know that you can get branches from floral shops that are still fairly fresh. You can get one from them as well, or a couple. So that would be my recommendation.
I mean, you could also use, I don't know if you could use a faux branch for it.
Okay, well, here's another thing. Yeah, you could try a faux branch. I think it'd be harder to get the plastic. She said, I can make one from wire, but the interest of saving time, I was wondering if anyone had suggestions. I live in an apartment, and the landscaping team is pretty vigilant about picking up fallen branches.
Yes.
I understand that. So I would say go talk to your florist and see if they might be able to sell you a couple fresh branches. I know that you can get them at a floral wholesaler. We've purchased them before. And then as far as making them from wire, if you're thinking of making a branch out of wire, our best I think solution that we have found is using that paper covered twig looking wire.
Oh yeah, the natural, I think it's called vine wire.
Vine wire and almost like twisting. It's similar to what you did with the plant that we So I might suggest you could try that.
Yeah, that looks the most similar, I'd say, to a branch already, so you wouldn't have to do a whole lot to it. All right, so when you go to apply these leaves, I liked putting smaller leaves up towards the top. You're probably going to have to trim your stems a bit more. They're a little too long. I just always want to make sure there's enough. There's nothing worse than wanting to glue something on and your stem's too short, or having to add more stem. And so let's see if you can see in here. So we're going to just double check that our stem can be pushed into the hole we've made. And if it does, see, it sticks in there without even a little glue, but we are gonna add some hot glue into the hole.
One of the things that we did when we were styling for the photo shoot this last month, we actually pulled out a few leaves and added them into our like napkins and little decor. So it's always great to, if you have extras, save them. If you have extra leaves,
always save them.
Yeah, leaves are precious.
Just keep adding. I'm going to add another
small one
leaf up here. Just use some hot glue.
Oh, okay.
And when you're applying one leaf right next to the other, you can just glue that next leaf right on to the other one. And you're just going to want to hold it in place until it dries. And you're probably going to get hot glue strings everywhere. You're just gonna have to kind of clean it up, and sometimes I'll add a little bit of hot glue over where I just glued it on for like extra hold. And hot glue is nice because it's clear, so if you
can even press it down.
You can press it down, so it's a little
when it's
smoother,
a little bit cooler. Yeah. So hot glue string tip is use a blow dryer.
A blow dryer, yeah. I still haven't tried that, but
I've tried it. It works pretty well.
It does work. Nice, good to know. So yeah, I just pushed it on there. Now we got 2 leaves on our branch. And when you're moving these, make sure you're holding where they're connected and then move them and adjust them, because you don't want to accidentally pull it off and have to re-glue it. So yeah, I'm cutting these leaf stems down so they're about, what is that, like an inch long, I'd say. I'm gonna find another hole and go ahead and glue in there.
I'm enjoying just watching you.
Watching.
Can I take a nap?
Right.
Can you guys hear the saws outside?
I know, I hear that.
I have contractors in the front room building a kitchen. That is so beautiful. This looks so real.
Yeah, I love it because when you're pushing these stems into the branch, it makes it actually look like it grew right out of the branch.
All right. Is there anything you want to say, or else I'll talk about the crepe paper again?
Yes.
Hopefully I didn't confuse everyone the first time. Okay, so I'm going to say this again. All right, guys. Yay! We have our single fold crepe paper. You know, looks kind of like this. It's in this little cute package, and there's folds inside. So we have our new ones in the shop. We have over 30 new colors of both heavy and extra fine. So here's the difference. We have a gray label on the new ones because the gray label is 4 times as much of the single or of the extra fine and twice as much as the heavy. We got as much as we could pack into this cute little envelope. So when you order online, so you don't get confused, whatever you order, you'll get the same quantity whether it's a brown label or the gray label, because we'll add extras. We'll make sure that you get exactly the same amount. And as soon as we're out of our brown label or our craft labels, we'll only have the gray labels. And here's the thing. So I know we've all been wanting this single fold crepe paper in our shop for a very long time, especially if you constantly make flowers and you don't want to buy a 10-pack because you may not use some of the colors. So we've really been trying hard to get this for you guys. Here's the thing. The crepe paper factory in Germany, this is a small order for them, even though it was a big order. It was a really big order, but it was small for them, and it was almost a favor to do this. So if we can sell more of our single fold crepe paper, then we have a case for them to continue to make it for us, and so we can keep stocking and even get new colors in our shop. So make sure that you buy them. Send your friends over to buy in our shop. Our shop is the only place you can get the single folds right now, so we're hoping that we do so well that this can become a regular thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So was that good, Anna? Did I do an okay job explaining all of that? Anna's sending me a note. Okay, so Patricia says buying fake pears to use brown paper sacks to mache them. No place. Oh, okay. She says paper mache pears are sold out everywhere. So you can take brown paper bags and do mache on them. So you could probably
you
take
can paper mache
your own,
your own pears, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you could probably form them with whatever you have.
Yeah, I found using like newspaper and wrapping masking tape.
Yeah.
To make the shape you want, and then you can paper mache
them
over that.
Yeah, and Patricia, also go and see if you can find any cotton spun pears as well. Just, Google that and see what you can find. We'll see if we can find some for you guys as well. We'll do a little research. They might be smaller, but it would be beautiful. So thank you, Patricia, for that idea, because paper mache is really fun.
It is, yeah. I've only done a little bit of it, but it is.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a good project for kids, too.
Oh, it is. Yeah, paper mache is great.
Is always really fun for kids.
Also, just a reminder, we have our little giveaway, and as soon as we're done making our branch,
almost done.
We're almost done. Okay. Get your answers in.
Answers all in.
So capital A, and then write in what is your favorite Christmas craft that you're making this year. We'll pick a winner at the end, and the winner will get all the materials that they need for our next Memory Make, which will be in November. Can you believe it? November. What?
I know, right?
What happened?
All right, so I'm rearranging my leaves a little bit because I realized I didn't like the direction they were going with the curve. I want them to curve.
So you're kind of
So I'm flipping my leaves over right now, if you're curious what I'm doing.
Actually, that's great. I'm glad you're saying it out loud.
Yeah, I'm going to flip them all over because I just am thinking about how I want to display this. And I'm like, I want my leaves to face the other way.
And how the branch will probably, come out of the base in that direction.
Yeah, so I'm going to I have 2 more leaves left, so I'm just going to add these 2, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you how to add the pear.
Okay.
And this is a small branch, so we're only going to put 1 pear on this branch. But we're going to add it into our already existing ones. Let's see, where do I want to add these leaves? Maybe one down here.
what to talk about. I need some questions.
I know it's always hard for something like this. I was like, do we... Ooh.
It actually works out that
There we go.
you're doing it. So it looks like you have a couple small leaves down here.
So I mixed them in.
Yeah, I like that. I like the way that you kind of... Mm-hmm.
It just looks a little more natural. I mean,
because
you're not going to have, it's not going to be small to big leaves on a tree branch. They all kind of grow randomly. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we're going to add our, getting some hot glue strings off of here. We're
Should I
going to go ahead and add our pear. And I'm going to leave the stem the length I have it here. It's probably 1.5 inches, close to 2 inches long, just because I want my pear to hang down.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Pam here, just had a really brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Adding needle felted pears.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that's a beautiful idea. Do we have some needle felted pears? I think we do. We have the partridge in a pear tree with some needle felted pears in that post.
Okay,
so you guys can go pop over there and look at that.
All right, I'm going to put my pear towards the top, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and poke a hole for it. And the pear, I want to secure it a bit better than the leaves because it is heavier.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to make sure that when I glue this in, I'm not only gluing it in the hole that I created, but also the stem to the side of the branch.
So paper to paper, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to really make sure that's on there. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of glue over where I glued it in, just so they don't fall off. And hot glue is clear, so don't worry about it showing too much. And also you can kind of disguise it with your leaves as well.
And it looks a little bit like sap coming out of the branch. And I think also pressing
sap on pear trees?
I don't know, but I think if you press your thumb, it takes the gloss out.
It does. If you press your thumb against.
Not when it's hot.
Not when it's hot,
cooler.
but once it's cooler. Oops, yeah, I was a little too quick.
I like your nails today, Megan.
Oh, thanks. I had to do them last night because I were.
Yeah, I've given up on my nails.
Crazy after doing house projects all week.
Megan's also moving into a house. It's that.
Both moving.
Yeah. That you just purchased.
All right. So. Yeah. All right. So there's our little pear branch.
So beautiful.
You can go ahead and add it in. Can I add it in?
Yeah,
we have a bunch of stuff in here to make it
stand up. Let's stand up. This direction.
Go that direction. Yeah. All right.
We one of the tricks that we use a lot, if you watched our photography video on our 3 Steps to Beautiful Photos on our Craft Academy site, we use rice in the base of a lot of our vases to hold things in. So that's what's in there. So there you have it. Okay, now we're going to talk about what we're going to do next month.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, so independently, you worked on crepe paper greens for Christmas, and I worked on frosted paper greens for Christmas. Nope. What's going on?
Too much in your face.
Oh, this thing? Okay, I guess we gotta move the pears.
Say bye to the pears. I think we can move them back here. Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
I'll put them here. That way I don't have to get up. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Matthew. He was like waving us down. That was adorable. Okay, so yes, independently we both worked on our own projects because this is something that people ask for a lot, is how to make the best greens for Christmas, the greenery for Christmas. I thought it'd be fun to show you guys all the versions because sometimes I mix them.
Yes, we mix. I love mixing frosted paper and crepe paper.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
So funny thing, so we both worked on ours. I have holly, I have juniper, I have pine, and then spruce, and then you have...
Yep, I have holly, I have like a fir, and then I have like a long needle pine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we both did white berries.
We did. We both did white berries on our...
Independently, we didn't even know. That was what was so funny.
Holly.
Yeah, instead of red. You could paint these red as well.
Yeah, I just kind of figured it was like, you can have them be whatever color you want.
Right,
But
I like
I'm going to leave them white.
So we're going to show you guys, we have all the patterns for this. This is easy because most of us just cut on the Cricut.
Yeah.
And then we'll teach you how to make these.
Yeah,
and
how to assemble them.
We have projects that I'm going to bring. We have a little Christmas tree. We have wreaths, all these different projects where
you can use some of these shapes. And I mean, you can create your own projects with these shapes. You can create your own wreaths, like swags, or I don't know what else.
Table decor for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do so many things with just these shapes that we have right here.
So we're going to share some ideas on how to use them, but more importantly, just teach you exactly how to do these. And this is the type of thing, again, I would keep these in a box and use them year after year and recycle them in different ways, depending on what I'm looking for, what the trend is that year, because you can always use good greenery. So with that in mind, here's what our giveaway is this month. I have it all cute in this little container here. So I have the conifer pack and the frosted, and we have the double-sided. There's 2 of them in there. We also have the extra fine single and the evergreen. I have 2 bags of these little teeny tiny cotton spun balls, which are 6 millimeter, and there's 100 of each. So there's 200 of those. Tacky glue. You get your own roll of the brown wire, binding wire. Then, as your little bonus gift, we have our Christmas paper. Christmas crepe paper pack.
Christmas paper pack.
Yeah, Christmas paper pack. And also the person who guessed that we had 7 studios, the first one to guess that, also gets one of these. So we'll be sending those out. Make sure both of you, well, actually I haven't named who's won this yet, but make sure when you do know who the winners are, you give your address to Anna so we can get those shipped to you and you can have these ready so you can start crafting for Christmas. Okay, Anna, let's see, what do we have here? Let me go through a few more questions. Oh, here we are. The winner is Jeff. Okay, see if I can say this right. Shavinsky. Jeff Shavinsky. I love it. I love that we have some male folk joining us. That makes me really happy. Okay, we have a few more questions that I want to answer before we finish out. Pam asks, have you ever done bittersweet branches? I've had a hard time finding them in the store the last couple of years.
I have not done bittersweet branches.
I haven't either. We'll have to look that up and see if that's something we can add into our list of good things to do. We're actually sitting down Monday, the creative team, deciding what our December projects will be. So let's consider it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jan, she said, over time, does the branch dry out, and would that affect the attached leaves and pears? Would that make them loosen?
So the one that we have made here, it is dried out because I made this
a month ago.
At least a month ago. So yeah, it's like shriveled and dried. I think a couple leaves fell off of it.
Well, a couple
or
I
did
pulled
you pulled out? Okay, Leah pulled a couple leaves off. But I mean, I could see where potentially some might want to come off, but you can very easily just glue them back on where the hole is already made.
I think the reason we wanted to use the fresh is that you can get the hole in.
You can get a hole in this dried branch. I cannot. Oh, I think I was trying to actually make a new hole earlier, and I was like, oh, that's really hard. That's why I cannot push into this.
So the most important thing is that you get your holes in while it's green, and once it's dry, then you're okay.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah. So.
Okay. Let's see. So that was a good question. I love that. Yes. And Anna wants me to ask you all, let us know your favorite project from the October collection, because we love to hear your feedback. We like to hear what projects really light you guys up, so we can make sure and keep making that type of project.
Similar ones, yeah.
I think, or Anna, were you asking me that question and Megan that question? The October collection.
I'm trying to think because we just finished November, so now I gotta
I know. We have to kind of bounce back and forth. I have to say that the little pocket pals, that Krista made were just so darling. little felt projects. And
I think I like the wool wreath.
Oh,
the
yeah.
macrame, like wool, the fuzzy wreath.
Oh, that was really pretty. The lion's mane wreath.
Yeah,
yes,
the lion's mane could
it.
also be lion's mane. That was my favorite one to make, I guess.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So let us know what your favorite
one.
projects were, and we'll see you guys. What is the date? Matthew, do you have that date? Or Anna, can you text it to me here? Because I forgot to write it down.
We can look at a calendar.
We can look at a calendar. Okay, give me 1 sec. I do have my phone right here. So November 13 is our
Friday the 13th.
Yes, I know, but
Okay.
we're doing these.
All right.
we're doing these beautiful Christmas
Yes.
branches, and we'll also show you how our tips and tricks for making these berries, which is super easy.
Yep.
I like these because I want everything to be a natural look, paper. I don't want plastic or foam. So these to me is like the best thing ever. So I guess that's why we're doing a lot of them. All right, you guys, we will see you next time.
Yeah,
Thanks
see you
for
next
being-
month.
Bye.